Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam, everyone. Let's start with Guru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvadidam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamakshadilaksham Egam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhudam Bhavadidam Trigunarakidam Satgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, everyone. Welcome to the KAILASA panel, KAILASA Dialogue. We're going to have a panel discussion on Hindu education global perspective. The world around us is changing rapidly, and the nature of an individual, job, relationships are rapidly changing as well. Human mind is more inquisitive than ever, and its intellectual pursuits are fueled by exponentially changing environments. However, is education ecosystem is adapting to this new reality? Is education is helping around to understand this change and prepare us for the future? Does education support and promote individual quest to understand the nature of one's own self? Does education throw light on what was the best in the past, what we are tracking in the present, and what we can carry forward to future? Is it really addressing this need of the hour? Does it bring out the best learning outcomes? This is not a debate or discussions at present. This kind of a hot debate was there earlier, and it is there now. It will be there in future too. So today we have a fantastic panel to discuss about it. We are going to discuss on how is this Hindu education on the global perspective. So what we are going to discuss specifically on Hindu education is, what is the purpose of the education? What are the problems to meet these purposes? What are the obstacles? And what are the possibilities? When we talk about the possibility, we are going to discuss about some of the successful case studies. So I call it as 3P: purpose, problems, and possibilities. When we are going to discuss about this, we are going to discuss this from all angles, from the parent angle, educators, researchers' perspective. So with this introduction, I would like to jump to introduce the panelist. NTV, can I have a panelist list? Yeah, so okay, so meanwhile NTV is presenting the slides, I will start introducing. We have a panelist today. Nilesh Vok is an author, a researcher, speaker, corporate consultant. He holds BS MS in chemical engineering and an executive MBA. He has published 3 books and writes extensively on ancient Indian history. I'm sure most of us must have read his book. It's an it's a beautiful book. Was just proving how our Ramayana Mahabharata is not a myth, and so that Nilesh helps Indians become aware of deep antiquity of Indian civilization, so that truly comprehend, present, or defend the grand narrative of India, unlike the most Indic researchers, because he builds it through scientific acumen and logical reasoning. He is adjacent faculty at Institute of Advanced Science in US. Okay, the next is welcome Nilesh ji. We are really honored to have you. Amala Stanley, principal for 36 years in Mumbai school, and she has really spent very good amount of time in educating the kids. And alternative educationist is one of the known alternative educationists. She has groomed up the kid from the age of 2 to 16. She is very passionate about slow learners teaching. That's her core expertise. And apart from that, she's a spiritual seeker also. She's here to present her views on Hindu education. We are going to have similarly a Margaret Rasfield. She is bringing with 40 years of experience as an educationist, and in short, to tell you, she is belonged to the liberal school, a transforming school, and she has co-founded schools in the transformation, and she's a tech talker, and she has created a lot of changes in the education system in the German markets. And thanks so much, Margaret Ma. And Jamila Ma, welcome. And she is also accompanying with Margaret Ma. She's a young entrepreneur, author, speaker, trainer, and coach. And her, academy on the blissfulness is, well known for bringing up education, alternative education in the German market. And next is Ma Durga. She's a spiritual entrepreneur, and she's been part of our Nithyananda Gurukul in Asia since 2011, and she's a yogacharya, and she has spent 18 years in the field of marketing and communications. And she's one of the key acharyas of Gurukul. And Ma Vimuktananda, thanks for coming here, Durga Ma. Ma Nithya Vimuktananda is an ex-banker, an entrepreneur by profession. She's an acharya for E-Gurukul initiated by her guru, Nithyananda Paramashivam, and she is representative of E-Gurukul in India. And last, thank you, Sandibai, to being here. Sandibai is an IT entrepreneur, E-Gurukul acharya, live in Orlando, father of 2 children, and is a professional, and he is an E-Gurukul acharya also. He is going to bring to the table the perspective of parenting. So with this beautiful panel, let's start the broad question. So I've already set the context that everything is rapidly changing, so education is also. So when we are going to discuss about the Hindu education, we are going to ask this panelist the 3 broad questions. One is the purpose of the education, and problems and the possibility. So let me start with the panelists all the panelists, welcome once again. The first round is going to be a rapid fire round, means you can use a couple of sentences to answer this, so that we can move into the possibilities and problematic area. We can spend more time on that. So my first question is, what is the purpose of the education? Yes, I wanted to start with Amalama.
Nithyanandam, everyone, the panel members and the viewers. Since I was not trained in Gurukul education, my memory is not that much, so I have noted down a few points. So, in the human history, there is an everlasting struggle to be free from fear, free from anxiety, free from desire, free from greed, and all that. And Nelson Mandela has told very clearly, education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. But being in the educational line for so many years, I'm introspecting myself whether I have changed and not any change. Finally, what I have concluded, the true education should be to make the student to become free of all this kind of fears. That means what knowledge he has gained, that intellect should be converted to be transformed into intuition. The intellect and intuition together he should become intelligent enough in his conscious level. That's what I understood when I attended the Gurukul school. The children are trained, they educated at their conscious level, which is missing in the outside world, where I had spent a lot of energy, but for no change. This is what my observation. So it should be from knowledge to wisdom, intellect to intuition, so the intelligence. So he becomes free from all these fears, especially the fear of future, and he is able to establish himself as a good human being, himself and for others.
Thank you, Amalama. Thank you for a short answer. So the key is intellect to intuition. Well, so Santidas Ayya, what do you think? What's the purpose of Hindu education? You have to unmute Ayya.
Yes, Nithyanandam, everyone. So for me, the purpose of education is to enable an individual or a being to express and explore life in any possible way without being overly concerned about external image. So we are always, if we look at it, 95% of our interactions, of our own dealing with ourselves is blocked by our concern about our external image, what the society is thinking, what my parent is going to think, what my sibling is going to think. So it should be enabled to express ourselves to the fullest extent. That is one aspect.
Fine.
The second aspect is education also needs to enable sustenance of society based on mutual respect, where every being is responsible for every other being's freedom to exist without fear. There are two components to education that must enable. Self by itself cannot sustain. It has to live in a society. So what is its contribution to the society, and how the society has to form? So those two answers need to be provided by the education. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sandeep. Okay, Stephanie Ma, you have anything to add? We can keep this a rapid round, so even if you give a key point, we can discuss it, expand it further. Please continue.
Yes, just keep it very short. As a parent and a Gurukul Acharya, I would say education should fulfill that kids can learn for life, that they are prepared for life, and that they know how life is working and how they can function also in life. That would be one aspect. And also that they can discover their whole potential and their life's purpose, and to live their life's purpose, and also to live a fulfilled life. That was it.
Thank you. So it's understanding the life purpose. Fantastic. Thank you. And yes, now Durgama, can you add something on what's the purpose of education?
Nithyananda, welcome everybody. So to me, education, the purpose of education is to give children a balanced learning experience about self, about people, the world, and God, so that they discover their possibility on planet Earth, they find their place, and they are able to coexist, peacefully with everybody. And that, to me, should be, a process of awakening in a child for why they have landed on planet Earth. To me, that should be added to what Master Stephanie said, is find that fulfillment ultimately. That's, to me, the importance of education. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's a balanced learning experience. Fantastic. Okay. So yes, Ma Avimukta, you want to add the purpose of education?
Nithyananda, everybody. Yeah, for me, the purpose of education is to provide them Vatavarana, which will give them a possibility space for learning and exploring life, teach them life solutions apart from the math, science, physics, what they learn, because life solutions will definitely open up greater possibilities for them. So this is not available in the outer world. Education is what I believe. As a parent, as a Gurukul parent, and as an e-Gurukul Acharya, I see that life solutions will take the kids a very long way to actually explore their life and make them feel that everything is possible for them. They don't need to fear anything.
Fantastic. Okay. This is a life solution. So the key I'm just taking as a life solution is the purpose of education. Well, Nilesh Bhai, your thought on this purpose of education.
Namaskar to everyone. So since everyone has given the points, there is no point left for me. Rigveda has one rucha, and I'm convinced that it covers the whole pedagogy model. I'm just going to state it, and then I'll quickly tell you the 3 points. It goes something like this. Om Tvanno asya amate rutakshudo o abhishaste ravasprudi Tvanna uti tava chitraya diya shiksha shachishta gatuvita. Here the teacher's role is seen as a guide or a coach, but the 3 quick points I want to give you are Amati, Kshuda, and Abhishastu. A number of panelists have already covered it, which is to say you want to get rid of your ignorance, you want to get rid of your Kshuda, and you want to get rid of your Abhishastu. So in effect, you would like to get the wisdom, you want to satisfy your hungers, and it's not the hunger of the stomach, but hunger of the mind, hunger of body and everything, and have a balance. That is that abhishastu, so remove the abhishastu, remove the imbalance.
Absolutely. So excellent. So ignorance, when you say hunger, it's not only a hunger of stomach, it's a quest. That's what we were talking about, the quest of a human mind, quest of an intellect. So the education has to take care of, ignite and just quest the thirst of an individual. That's fine. So in short, it's, you can say, eliminating ignorance, hungers, sickness. Sickness is not a right translation, but just for a sake of not having a better word, so we'll keep that. So this is beautiful. So we are just concluding the first part of the purpose of education. So thanks, panelists. It's a fantastic keywords. There is something called intellects to intuition. We were talking about a balanced learning, life solutions, eliminating ignorance, hungers, and identification and pursuit of goals and desires. Well, and life, fulfilling the life. It's all beautifully we are talking about it. So, well, we know this is a purpose. We know this is the exact purpose, somewhat exact purpose of education or Hindu education. So we will be start talking about what is the real problem, what is the challenges, or what is the obstacles we are, facing to fulfill this purpose. So where we get
Yes.
stuck, we know currently that our purpose of net met, that's very clear. I think there is no need of any research there. We know the purpose, and the existing system is not fulfilling that. We know it. But instead of me just saying a word, I invite Stefima. She has done a research on what is the current state of education and what are the outcome of the current education. So if you could be able to present that, it would be nice, Stefima. NTV, can you just present that children's problem?
Yes, Nithyananda. So this is a conclusion of different statistics all over the world, from India, the US, and also Europe. And here you see that the main problems that we are facing in the world today with the kids and children and teenagers is that one part is, for example, that they are extremely under stress. So 45% of teens are reporting that they are under stress all the time. Next one, please. We can go through it pretty quickly. So the next one, is it showing up already? Next one is the substance abuse. So we have about 1 of 10 boys, for example, that are regularly taking drugs and substances, including tobacco, different substances, alcohol, heroin. I cannot read it from here. Yes, and different other substances. Next one, please. So we have also many mental disorders. There was a statistic that 1 out of 11 youth are given psychiatric drugs. You can all research it. When you just Google it, it all just shows up. Next one, please. We just go through that pretty quickly. Then also teenage pregnancy, per 1,000 girls in the age of 15 to 19, they become pregnant. That was the statistics from 2008 and 2008 and 2009. We have other statistics as well. Next one, please. Then obesity is also a very big problem, especially in the US. We have over 10 times more children and adolescents obese in 2016, around 124 million. They're just like some little snippets just to get a little insight of what all is there. Cyberbullying, there was a statistic a study done where it was shown that over half of the teens are suffering under online bullying, which includes different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and others. Next one, please. And 8 to 10% of the school-age kids are suffering from ADHD. Over 10 million of kids every year diagnosed with ADHD. This is another little ankle of it. Next one, please. And also depression and burnout is a huge topic all over the world. And there was a study, for example, where 20% of all the teens experience depression before they are adulthood. And there has been a 75% increase in depression cases, with 60% contemplating and adapting suicide over the last 5 years. For example, in Mumbai, there were studies done in India. For example, in Mumbai, 3 people commit suicide every day. And the 2 leading causes are love breaks up or even examination pressure. And that is mentioned as one of the main topics for suicide. Next one, please. So the suicide is becoming a really large killer, so to say. And when we just look at the numbers here, suicides per year, 265,000 just in India. About 1 million suicides by youth, ages 10, and so on. So there is a lot. There's a huge suicide rate as well.
Great.
Yes, and to conclude it all, actually, let's go to the second last slide. So yes,
Yes.
The school is not teaching how to deal with life.
Exactly. So this is all we would have heard all this terminology then and there, here and there: suicide, cyberbullying, teenage pregnancy, and all this we know that, and depressions, and the examination. Earlier, before 22 decades, 3 decades back, that suicide used to happen when the people are not passing the exams. Now I was reading that article that people now, in after getting 90, 95, they feel that just by few percentage, few points, few dot points they missed, and suicides are happening. So that's what the statistics says. So this clearly indicates the problem somewhere. This education is not clearly making this all this statistics what we are seeing before is a dark statistics stopping. I mean, one side we say the education literacy rate is going up and up, and we are finding another side all these problems are growing up and up. This is where I wanted to invite Amalama, who has done this research on this side, and 40 years she has really spent a time in a ground level with the schools, and she's still consulting many schools. I want your opinion, Amalama.
See, I can speak from my experience only. Now it was maybe Stefanama has told about the suicides. Okay, while as a student, when they are studying itself, things are happening. That's why I wrote once one article in a daily paper, weekly journal. I wrote an article, celebrate examination. Celebrate examination. Examination should not be pressure for you. It should be like a treasure to check, how, okay, this much I know, this I don't know, so yet to know. There is no depression of I don't know, yet to know. So it was appreciated by so many parents, madam. There is first time we hear celebrate examination. Otherwise, it is such a pressure both for the parents, students, and even the teachers, the principals, I would say. When there is an examination, board examination, right from the principal till the result comes, all are in tension. So that means the examination is taken in a different turn. The purpose what for it is made, but it has gone into another level. So we have to, right from the beginning, the school is a word only. The meaning of the school word is like, it's coming from a Greek word, leisure. So whether the children are learning leisurely. See, this examination is one point, how much leisurely they are learning. Like, this is one thing. Say, this is while you are studying. Another one, I have a very shocking experience, which gave a big blow to me, which I was carrying for a long time in my mind as a guilt feeling. There was a child whom I had taught him. He was he was the toppermost student, so-called topper. He was a topper, and his name is still on the board. He was the topper of the school. And even in his life, I heard that he is successful. What is the meaning of the successful? That success for the world, but whether he was really successful for him, because after when he was doing his MD, I came to know about him, very successful in the college also. After he became a doctor, he was a very successful doctor, but one fine day I got the news he committed suicide. So it was a very shocking, and I went into a guilt feeling than what I had done, what education I had given him. So I have trained him to be how to go for his living, but not his life.
For life, exactly.
So here I felt like something is going wrong. Similarly, once one child at 2 o'clock, middle of the night, I got a call from a child, Madam, I want to end my life. Before that, I want to hear you. I want to see you. I told my child, it is 2 o'clock. He was about to get married. She saying, I'm going to die, but before dying, I just only one person I want to see or think, it is you, to hear you. So I told, okay, you love me, so you want to hear me. On the spot, I was counseling him, but I also love you, so you should listen to me what I say. Just wait to die. You go home peacefully. Tomorrow morning we can discuss about it. After that you can die. Okay, like that. What? So I prevented that suicide. So with all that what I had, that is something is going wrong. So I feel, see, I am so-called a successful principal, as you know, but what is that success? What is the meaning of that success? Whether I have created a children to be, I mean, as I say repeatedly, as Swamiji's very famous word, consciousness. It is not conscience, what is right or wrong, but in their conscious level, are they educated? So the consciousness should be the product of education, where we are not. I am not pushing, I mean, giving the blame, but when we are working in a system, we are following the same system. When Swamiji said, I am reviving Hinduism, I was so happy. The terminology is very correct. Education is one one part of Hindu Vedic science or Hinduism. So he says Hinduism, even the education, revive that.
Exactly.
Revive that. I had attended a lot of seminars, conferences, educational conferences. Finally, all were just intellectual entertainment.
Correct.
This vocabulary also I get from Swamiji only. He uses so many vocabularies like this. So for me, I say it was just intellectual entertainment. When we are there, we are so much activated. We have to do this, that. Once we are out of the zone, we are back to the pavilion.
So the question is, yes, ma, perfect question. It is like, so successful life, but he doesn't know he got the living purpose, but not a life. That's a key I'm taking from you. It's really absolutely great.
So
Thank
even you. We have to get into that, how to go. There is solution. When I had visited, I mean, it is a blessing in disguise. Yes, because of all this, I went close to Swamiji. In fact.
We will discuss that in the possibility thing. I want another panel to jump in the problem also. Prematma Swami is here. Nitya Prematma Swami is here. Yes, yes, ma. You would like to add on? We are discussing about the purpose problem. So if you want to add up something, please.
Yes, thank you, Nithyanandam, everyone. It is really wonderful to see a very important topic that we are discussing today, the education and the purpose of it, and the problems that we are facing. And many more panelists are going to address these problems that we are facing with the current education system that we are facing today. It is at this juncture, as Amalama was sharing, how Swamiji is reviving Hinduism. He has given, as he is reviving Hinduism, he is giving us the freedom, not only the right for education, but the right for right education. And in that, he is giving us the right to make the choices. What type of education should our kids have? What, should our temples be run by us, or should it be run by government? And should we Hindus be vegetarian or non-vegetarian? All these important factors, and education comes as one of the key component of our lifestyle. Who is making decisions on all this? Now he, for the first time, is giving us the freedom to make a choice. So I'm just here jumping in to remind everyone, as we are discussing a very important topic today, let us remember our rights. Let us exercise our rights here by casting our vote. So since the last week, we are also discussing on the conversion that is going on. So the religious conversion. So in this, we have the choice, we have the right to cast our vote. The right conversion is right, or should it be an option even? So where should the conversion be forced on us? So cast your vote with the hashtag Hindu votes are sacred, and the link is projected, kailasa.org/Hindu votes. So requesting everyone, as we are discussing the important problems that we are facing with the education system and the modern lifestyle, to cast our vote and make our voices heard. It is important that Hindus make our voices heard. We are over 2 billion Hindus that live. It is important that every single voice is heard. So we choose what is our education, we choose what our lifestyle should be, and we choose how our life should be. So thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to interrupt and remind everyone, as we are talking very important topic here.
Thank you so much, Ma. It's very important when we talk about education, that to Hindu education, it's not only what we are getting, it is a responsibility also. Nowadays, we are talking about a democracy. Hinduism is the one which has given democracy for everything. Okay, our voting, Swatyas, Tasadas, Jiva Tasadas, this kind of a mechanism, tools were there for a pretty long time. So I request all the viewers, please go there and just vote for it. This is just showing that you are taking a first responsibility. That's the reason even in India, when we see the voting, even in the election, we are not even crossing 60-70%, because we feel that only we have to raise the voice, but we don't need to vote. This becomes a part of our DNA, So please, let's not be like that. Let's be a responsible Hindu voters. And all the topics, what's all going on is very much relevant to the Hinduism. Please just vote. Okay, so let's continue our discussion on the problem, what as an education ecosystem is facing. I invite Sandi Das Ayya. He is going to give a perspective from the parental point of view. Yep. Sandi Ayya, please.
Yes. So I'm a father of 2 children. One is 11 and one is 16. Both of my children are high achieving, well mannered, and they're sensible kids. They're well regarded among their peers, in the academic performance is very good. They do well. But as they are interacting with the external world, as well as among their friends, and certain things that concerns me, and the way I would like to, not just concerns me, I do not know how to address them. For example, some of my concerns and worries are related to drugs. I have a 16-year-old. He has his friends, families. He hangs out with his friends of similar age kids, and related to pornography, related to sex. And if you look at these 3 issues that I just highlighted, it is prevalent among urban youths. I don't know much about rural youths, but it is prevalent irrespective of India or Western country. Many times people think that it is a Western phenomenon. No, that is not true.
Absolutely.
I grew up in India. I did all my education in India. So I can affirmatively say that it is not a localized Western phenomenon. It is as much prevalent in India as here. Only thing is we may not be discussing as openly about it.
Exactly. Thank you.
If I get to my youth, I can distinctly recollect how some of these issues affected my personality, development, well-being, and rational thinking.
Yes, sir.
If I get to myself as a parent, if I go back in time and start thinking how those topics have affected me directly in my interaction, my main concern is how to build a child who can differentiate between right and wrong. How do I make the child realize in his context, his physical development, his desire for sex, his desire for fit in? How can I build a child who can harmoniously work with all the situations where he doesn't have to regret?
Got it.
All the things that I am saying, it's not just for my child. I reflect back on my own personal life and see how these things has carried me through in my life and what I am today. Exactly. And what are the different conflicts that I go through on a day-in, day-out basis and try to rationalize with it. So the similar things, if I put my child on a similar spot, I would like to answer this question. I would like to engage with him in a way. The education, as well as me myself, need to engage with my child so that I feel comfortable that, yeah, I am building a right child. Thank you.
Got it, Aya. Got it. So this is, as you exactly put it, it's not the Western kid or Indian kid. This is a teenage problem, and yes, drugs, sex, pornography, and their communications with the parents is all the typical teenage problem. And yes, so we'll just see how we have a panelist. We have some successful panelists who have solved the solutions. So let's see how they are, going to address that. Can I go to Ma Durga? Ma Durga, you have anything to say on the problem on the education things quickly?
Okay, so recently I've been seeing a lot of teenagers getting into this problem of giving up on themselves and totally disengaged in the learning process. See, education should trigger the passion for learning. But I am seeing that more and more children, our teenagers, by the time they reach teenagers, they have completely been, I would say, disengaged in the, the education system. Yes, they just like so bored with it.
Yeah.
They are so bored with it. They start dabbling in all the distraction, whether it's addiction, like what Sadhya was saying, addiction, things that for entertainment, and mixing up with all kinds of even substance abuse, just to forget about the problem they're facing. They just try to escape life.
Got it.
Because of that, they're falling into this thing I call unconsciousness. When you become unconscious, what happened? Or the worst thing can happen.
Exactly.
So this is what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing a lot of kids are falling into depression, falling into addiction, falling into falling prey into the pornography industry. So that's all I'm seeing.
Great. So extending what you're saying, Durgama, it's that's a Vadavarna. Even if you're just looking at the government or the institutions, they have a completely linear version. Today, what government is bragging about? Every government is coming and saying that we are, they are not really, I can say, not too much caring about what is the kind of an education we have to give. We will discuss about it, our new education policies from Indian government in possibility sections. But overall, we have done a thorough research on how our syllabus got set up in Indian government, and we have seen, what is the context, what is the thinking behind any government, not only Indian government, any government is basically they just say that it is nothing but an industry servicing resources. For example, industry need this. Is it government is creating that kind of a skill set people? Okay, our GDP has gone this much, it's going to this much, so we need this kind of a skilled people. Let's develop that. So they are